So I get it. The Cowboys have the best offense in the NFL, but the worst defense in the NFL. The question is, how can we save the 2025 Cowboys season? In this video, I'll lay out a scenario and break it down. Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Mauricio Rodriguez here at ATOZ Sports Dallas. Talking about the Cowboys this year has been crazy. And I don't want to be in a spot where every single week we're just talking about how one side of the ball sucks and the other is absolutely great. I don't want to get to the Underdog Fantasy play of the week and be like, just do the higher for Dak Prescott passing yards and do the higher for the opposing quarterback as well. And by the way, play $5 and receive an additional $100 in funds by using promo code ATOZ. So for this video, I'm wondering, how could the Cowboys save the season? What is the best case scenario for this Dallas team? And I think it starts with winning 3 of the next 5 ball games, because that would allow you to be a buyer at the trade deadline. And I'll tell you exactly what you need in the trade deadline and why I think it could be enough to save the Cowboys defense. But first, you've got the Jets, the Panthers, the Commanders, the Broncos, and the Cardinals before the bye week, and more importantly, before the trade deadline. I think to justify being a buyer and giving up draft capital for this year, you got to have at least a 4-win, 4-loss, 1-tie record. You should have a winning record going into the bye week. And though I don't want to make any picks ahead of time, I will say the Cowboys should beat the Jets. The Cowboys should beat the Panthers. They should be able to go toe-to-toe with the Commanders because their defense is suspect. The Broncos offense has been inconsistent. Dak Prescott versus Bo Nix is a duel you might be able to win, even though they have a great defense. And the Cardinals, honestly, I don't know. The Cardinals are a weird team to evaluate, so let's call it a 50-50. Say the Cowboys get 3 or 4 wins before the trade deadline. They would have a winning record, and now the question would be, how do you get better? Now, here's where I want to make a very important note. You shouldn't be thinking about the Cowboys suddenly having a top 5 defense because of one trade you made. You should be thinking about going from one of the worst defenses in the NFL to maybe like the 20th defense, something that will at least give Dak Prescott a chance at winning ball games, but you will still need your offense to be the one responsible for your wins. Having a good defense is honestly out of the question. You're not going to get that probably this season, but you might be able to not have one of the worst too. So who do you go for? We could talk about a linebacker, a cornerback, or all that, but I think the best way to help the Cowboys defense is get a premier pass rusher. And you all know the name I'm about to say. Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals should be available, and the Cowboys should pursue him if they are going to be buyers at the deadline. Now, here is exactly why. You know that the Cowboys need to get better pass rushing. You know that the Cowboys need to get better at pressuring opposing quarterbacks. You know they need to get better in the secondary. You know all that. But I'm looking at one stat, just one stat that I want to improve for this Cowboys team, and that is third down defense. The Cowboys are allowing conversions at a 58% rate. How do you get better on third down defense? It is pretty simple. You rush the quarterback. You get some pressure. You force some mistakes. That is where the Cowboys have been unable to get anything going this season. So if the Cowboys are going to buy and they want to get a better defense, I think you start with getting off the field. You start with boosting that third down defense, and no better way to do that than going and getting Trey Hendrickson. Now, again, I insist that wouldn't fix your defense, but it would make it significantly better. It would give Dak Prescott more chances. And still, in the second half of the season, when you're going up against the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Lions, the Vikings, the Chargers, and the Commanders in consecutive weeks, you're still going to need Dak Prescott, CD, George Pickens to be the ones winning you these ball games. But we just saw this Cowboys team not win despite putting 40 points on the board. So that just makes it clear you need a defense that is slightly better. But in order for this to even be a possibility, win 3 of the next 5 games, preferably 4 of the 5 games. Get yourself into a position where you can consider yourself a buyer, take advantage of the weak opponents on your schedule coming up, and hope for the best. Let me know what you think in the comments. Can the Cowboys save the season? Yes or no? And I'll see you next time.